Good morning, this is Caden from Xanadu. So this video is just intended to really quickly go over how we have a setup for a glassware setup specifically for essential oil extraction. I thought it might be helpful just to see what we have, describe what the pieces are, and then probably we'll need to professionalize and develop the class a little bit better. But to start off with, we have a setup here. I want to be clear, this isn't the best setup for running a hot plate. I've got a blanket here for the glassware to kind of protect it. Combustible material and hot plate, not the best thing, so when we do the actual class, we'll have like a rubberized mat or something that's not heat conductive. So to go over the components really quickly, it is a glassware set. Sometimes you can use copper stills. Those are totally acceptable. This just allows you a little more visibility. It's a little more fun to kind of look at things. So you have a hot plate. You've got a ceramic coated piece between the hot plate and the glass. That's to protect the direct heat transfer between the hot plate and the glass so that you end up with less stress over time. The container at the bottom holds the water, preferably water without mineral deposits, so a very distilled water, something without pieces that's, or components that are going to leave stuff behind, or residue behind. You can clean the glassware with vinegar, so it's not that big of a deal. It's just easier over time. The bioflask, this is where you put the material. I put the smaller one on, but there is a larger one. And not shown is on the glassware set, you put in a piece of steel wool or something, cotton maybe, and it protects the biomaterial from falling into the water. You load the material in the top, orange peels cut up, or you might end up with lavender flowers, or rose hips, or whatever you choose as far as what you want your oil to come out as. And then you're going to load that, and then you're going to put the top piece on, which is a columnar set where the steam comes up. So it's going to boil, the steam's going to go through the material, it's going to pick up the oils. You're going to end up with water and oil kind of mixed in together. It's going to come down through this. This is the condensing unit. So as it enters this chamber, there's actually two separate pieces of glass in that chamber that don't touch. So the inner one is where the steam comes through and turns into liquid as it condenses. The outer one is where you have an ice bath recirculating, which is what you see here. This pump and this little tube sits in an ice tub, and the water circulates through this column as ice water, which then of course cools it. It falls into this lower piece here, and it's separated out as oil and water. Now, some oils are heavier than water and some oils are lighter than water. So what you'll end up with is ability to separate on this lower one. The heavier than water oil comes out the bottom. Turn the little valve, and then the lighter, it spills out the top here, and it can condense and come out here so you can collect it. Now you will end up with a mixture sometimes of often with the oil and the water still kind of mixed together. That's called a hydrosol solution, totally usable, and still contains some of the scent, just not as strong, and it's not the pure essential oil. So that's the setup. When we do the class, this takes a while, 10 hours sometimes, 6 to 10 hours. So you're not going to want to do that in the class. You're going to want to set this up, get it bubbling, kind of get it going, and then you'll have, at least it's my recommendation, an already separated hydrosol solution and essential oils into different glass vials so that you can show little stoppers so you can take them out, put them on tissue paper or something like that to demonstrate. Now, as far as like a program goes, it might be kind of fun to make it a multi-part program where you start off with planting something, right? Maybe you choose lavender. So everybody plants a little bit of lavender, they nurture it, it grows, and then you harvest it, and then the process of making the essential oil when you're done. So I thought that might be kind of how it ran. Again, Xanadu's got the stuff. We're happy to show up and show people. As many people at BUGS as wants to get involved to become the educators or the demonstrators, totally good with that, however you guys want it to work. But we do have people that can come in. Angie's not here right now. I would have her film as well. But that'll help kind of make the program work for you guys, hopefully.
And then I just wanted to follow up with another segment video showing a lavender planted, which maybe we do that in the spring. We have a lavender planting class. Everyone gets a plant, and the goal is plant it in the spring, grow it through the summer, harvest in the fall, and then distill an oil, and everyone gets to take home a little bit of oil. Certainly we don't have to do that. I do think doing an actual demonstration of a distillation in the spring is probably really fun. Maybe we follow up in the fall. So here I have Angie. She's just gesturing, maybe we have someone from Bugs as the educator and just kind of pointing at how it works, how the water bubbles up through and is steam, and then it condenses in that bioflask, goes up to the top, comes out as the actual steam, turns into steam and then condenses in that cylinder. There's an ice bath, and that's contained in that little Tupperware container. So ice water, it's pumped in through the condenser unit. And then as she demonstrates towards the apparatus that you separate the oils out, some are heavier and lighter, and you separate them out. So this is a simple way to kind of show, as anyone, whether it's Angie or someone from Bugs or myself, shows how the process works. I do think setting it up, having it one where it's a setup to demonstrate, one where it's already going and bubbling, and then one where it comes out. That bioflask is for larger amounts, so we could do more material or less. And then lastly, she's just showing putting the lavender into the bioflask. So that pretty much ends the program. This isn't something that I think would be published on a professional level, but it gives you guys kind of an idea of what we could put out as a recording or how we would do the class. Hopefully that helps.